Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, introduced during the Golden Age. His power comes from a mystical green Starheart flame, not the Guardian's core. He's separate from the modern Lantern Corps mythos, but later integrated into mainstream DC continuity. He also operated as a member of the Justice Society of America. The first live-action adaptation of Alan Scott was in the 9th season of Smallville, seen in flashbacks as a founding member of the JSA. He was also heavily referenced posthumously in Stargirl, and an early flashback scene from the series showed the remnants of his green flames on the battlefield. Hal Jordan, the most iconic and well-known Green Lantern. He was a fearless test pilot who was chosen by the ring of the dying alien Abin Sur. He became the Corps' greatest champion, defined the Lanterns' mythology, and became the face of the franchise. Hal Jordan has been adapted into live-action media several times, most notably in the 2011 Green Lantern movie played by Ryan Reynolds, and more recently in DCU's Lanterns, played by Kyle Chandler. But his first-ever live-action appearance was in 1978's Legends of the Superheroes, and he even had a brief, faceless cameo in the 4th season of CW's Green Arrow.
Gardner.
Initially chosen as Hal Jordan's backup, hot-headed, brash, and sometimes comic relief, but also, at the same time, one of the Corps' toughest fighters who could be counted on. Nathan Fillion is known to play the live-action version of Gardner in the DCU movies and TV shows. Prior to that, the character's first-ever live-action appearance was in Justice League of America, a TV movie released in 1997. John Stewart, first introduced as a substitute lantern for Hal Jordan, an architect and former Marine. Calm, disciplined, and highly respected, he's often the lantern commander in the field and a mainstay in Justice League stories. John Stewart's most recent and proper live-action adaptation will be in DCU's Lanterns, played by Aaron Pierre. Prior to that, the Arrowverse's John Diggle served as a loose adaptation of John Stewart, although he chose to discard his ring instead of becoming a Green Lantern. And Zack Snyder had originally filmed the final scene of his Justice League movie with actor Wayne T. Carr as John Stewart, before WB forced them to make changes. Jennifer Lynn Hayden, or Jade, daughter of Alan Scott, DC's first Green Lantern, born with innate Starheart-based powers similar to Lantern energy, making her a natural Lantern-like hero without the need of a ring. While she once became Earth's Green Lantern with her own given power ring before, the green-skinned hero often operates in her own right rather than as part of the Corps. Jade made her live-action appearance in Season 2 of Stargirl, referred to as Jenny on the show. They even included her twin brother Todd, aka Obsidian. Todd is gifted with shadow or darkness-based powers instead of light. Kyle Rayner, a struggling artist chosen after Hal Jordan's fall in the mid-90s. For years, he was the only remaining Green Lantern in existence, carrying the legacy alone, reinventing the Corps, and becoming one of the most powerful. As of now, Rayner has not made a live-action appearance yet. However, Green Lantern's costume from the 1997 JLA movie was heavily based on Rayner's, who was DC Comics' main Lantern during that time period. Simon Baz, a Lebanese-American who was wrongly profiled as a terrorist. He was chosen by a power ring to be its bearer during a crisis, and became known for initially carrying a firearm as a precaution in case his ring's charge died out. He overcame fear and prejudice to prove himself as a Lantern. Simon Baz also hasn't made a live-action appearance yet. However, Official concept art for CW's Arrow has shown that John Diggle's Green Lantern outfit, should he have accepted those powers, would have looked very much like Simon Baz, especially the headgear and gun. Jessica Cruz, a young woman who struggled with severe anxiety and trauma, which led the evil power ring of Volthoom to her that fed on her cowardice. She would later overcome her fears to wield a Green Lantern ring and became one of the most relatable modern lanterns, known for her growth and resilience. Despite never having appeared in live action, Jessica Cruz was featured as the Green Lantern of the Justice League team in DC's 2022 theatrically released movie, League of Super Pets. This makes the character one of the few Green Lanterns from Earth to have ever appeared on the big screen. Jo Mullen, a rookie lantern and former NYPD officer. She was given a unique long-charge ring designed to function independently for a year and was sent on a solo mission to police a massive city far from Earth. Kelly Quintella, the Teen Lantern, a young hacker from Bolivia who reverse-engineered Green Lantern tech to power her own gauntlet, which essentially functions just like a power ring, all done initially without the knowledge of the Lantern Corps. She's headstrong, inventive, and currently learning what it really means to wield lantern power. When it comes to human Green Lanterns from Earth, there have actually been a lot more than these 10 main ones that we've just listed. We'll try to go through all of them briefly. There have been lesser-known humans to be recruited into the Green Lantern Corps, such as Charles Vicker, former American actor, and Anya Savinlovich, former Russian cosmonaut. And chronologically, before Hal Jordan, several other humans on Earth have received a power ring, which is something retroactively added by DC Comics. There's Zhong Li from 7th century China, Waverly Sayre, an early American settler from the 18th century, Daniel Young, a local Wild West sheriff from the 19th century, and Donna Parker, who was recruited during the height of the Cold War. And if we move forwards into the 30th century, during the time of the futuristic Legion of Superheroes, we have several other Green Lanterns, all existing in different possible timelines. There's Rond Vidar, Carrie Wren, Kurt Needry, and Jordana Gardner. And in the not-too-distant future of the Batman Beyond timeline, we were introduced to Cairo, a young Tibetan monk Green Lantern who is also a member of Justice League Unlimited. And in an alternate 26th century timeline, there's a whole group of ring-powered humans with their own brand of a Green Lantern Corps, known as the Earth Corps. Now let's dive deeper into the multiverse and DC Elseworld stories. Green Lantern Legacy, set on Earth 98, featured Vietnamese-American Green Lantern Tai Pham, a second-generation ring-bearer after his grandmother, Kim Tran. Tangent Comics, Green Lantern and Green Lantern Dark, featured alternate versions of a female user with an old-fashioned Chinese lantern suspended from a hook. And some Green Lanterns go by different aliases, use different paraphernalia, or have their powers come from a different source and origin altogether. And many, many more. In a lot of cases, they happen to be variants of already established DC characters that we know of, who aren't typically associated with the Green Lantern mythos in any way. There are multiversal variations of Jade, but with different identities. There are even several versions of a Green Lantern Batman, such as Bat Lantern from Earth 32 and the Evil Dawnbreaker from the Dark Multiverse. Not to forget, DC's first evil Green Lantern from another universe was the Power Ring, member of the Crime Syndicate of America. These are just a few different versions of him. And back in the main universe, several characters have used power rings temporarily, so they're not exactly considered official Green Lanterns, such as Wally West, Uncle Sam, and the KFC guy himself, Colonel Sanders. These temporary users even includes villains, who somehow got their hands on a ring, like Harley Quinn, Hank Henshaw, the cyborg Superman, and Weapons Master. And if we look at these animated TV shows, even Lex Luthor and the Penguin can be added to the list. Did you know that in a DC crossover with Star Trek, Captain Kirk also became a Green Lantern? And speaking of crossovers, we might as well include these crossover characters who, despite not being human, actually do come from Earth.
Green Lantern of Earth.
Other Earth animals with Green Lantern powers include Chip from League of Super Pets and this unnamed whale from a future timeline. We initially wanted this to be a video about all lanterns from Earth, including those who wield the powers of other color spectrums, not just green. But we decided to postpone that for another video in the future. Thank you for watching.